sun seems to be the ideal.
The stresses and strains of modern living see many people daydreaming and hatching plans about packing it all in and moving to the country. Most people, however, don't do anything about it. But one couple did. Eamon and Fiona Dillon are living their version of the good life here in County Carlow. Fiona and Eamon both gave up highly successful careers when they originally left Dublin in 1999 in pursuit of more open spaces for them and their children. Fiona, prior to Hunter's Lodge, tell me what your life was like.
Prior to Hunter's Lodge, we lived in Ballsbridge. We had 3 children when we moved down here. We both had careers. We had a garden, but it was a garden with a swing and a washing line and a shed and nothing more than that. So it was typical of life in the city, very different to what it's like now. I think it's great to be successful in a career, but your children grow up so fast, so I wanted to spend more time with them.
As a country novice, Fiona's first venture was to get some poultry, and both she and Eamon took to them immediately.
I decided if we were going to move to the country, we were going to have some chickens. So
had you kept them before?
Never, never.
Why did you want them?
Because to me it represented country life. I loved the idea of being able to go out and collect some eggs, and to this day it's still one of my favourite things to do every day. And then I wanted to hear the cock-a-doodle-doo at 5:30 in the morning. That was just my thing. That's what I wanted to hear.
When we got them first, and you just watch them and you see all the different things, you see the pecking order, and you can just watch them for hours, and they're incredible.
You have under an acre. Tell me exactly what you're doing with that acre. Tell me everything that's here.
So the chickens and the ducks would be for eggs. We'd have ducks for the table at particular times of the year. We would have broiler chickens that would be for the table as well. We keep 2 pigs for about 5 to 6 months every year, and that supplies us with enough meat to last until we bring in the next 2. We'll rear our own turkey for Christmas. We keep quail, which we use for the eggs. They're great in lunch boxes going back to school, hard-boiled quail eggs. We grow what we like to eat, and we have fruit trees, not a huge amount. We're starting again with the fruit trees. We had a disaster with them. Lots of soft fruits. In fact, this year was a great year for soft fruits. And then we have 3 beehives, so we have a supply of honey for the year as well.
And you've got some interesting decorations hanging off a wall over there as well.
Yeah, my recycled wellies. And again, something that people can do because they have lots of wellies or clogs that they're going to throw out. So I'm constructing a welly wall, which would be all my old recycled wellies or the children's wellies, and we'll fill them with herbs. So in the spring then we should have a good supply of herbs, but it hasn't taken up any space, which is the great thing. And they lay something like that.
While Eamon is now self-employed with his own electronics business, Fiona has begun teaching others how to go about becoming more self-sufficient. How did the classes come about?
Well, I think my blog started first. I decided that I was going to blog because my family and friends were always asking, what are you doing now? Because I could have been out trying to find a goat or buy a turkey or whatever it might be. So I started to blog about it. And the more I blogged, the more interest I got and the more people started asking questions about it. And I decided, okay, I could put this into some sort of format and help fund the lifestyle. Okay, so we come through here and what we'll see is a standard coop.
The demand for Fiona's classes reflects a growing interest here in Ireland in keeping poultry.
3 or 4 hens in there.
You grew up around chickens?
I did, yes. My mother kept hens and we would have been our jobs to look after them and that, so I'm just getting back to probably my youth.
Do you think it's something anyone could do?
Absolutely. You can have some in your back garden in city centre, 2 hens, 2 eggs every day. That's 14 eggs a week. That's wonderful. Do they need any particular bedding underneath?
People come to my classes and you'd have some that they're dreaming of the lifestyle and maybe it's something that will happen in years to come and they'll say to me, we've bought the books, and then they want to come down and experience it. But for others, it's really about how they can save so much money, and I share with them all of my tips, and I think that people need to go away knowing the pitfalls as well. So I'm happy to say where things went wrong, like when I'm rearing turkeys, they got ill on me the first time I did it.
One of the funny ones was that when we reared the turkeys, they got so big that when at Christmas when we got them ready. The butcher cleaned them out for us and we had them ready. So we brought the turkey down and we were just checking out to see if it would fit in the oven, and there's no way it would fit in the oven. It was 36. It was 36 pounds.
You could have fed all of Carlo with that.
So we had to bring it back to the butcher, and he had to cut it in half for us.
Yeah. But that's a good pitfall, that your birds are too big for the table.
Fiona, is this new life saving you any money?
Well, it's certainly impacting on our grocery bill every week. I'd say I'm at least down 50%.
Wow.
But it's a combination of what I grow, the work that we put in. Obviously you put more work in here, but you can produce more food. And then I create some recipes that are cost saving as well. And it's great food, it's real food. We know where it's come from, we know what's gone into the meat. So yes, I think on a day-to-day we do save money.
So the Dillons really seem to have everything sorted, and being almost completely self-sufficient is proof enough that this is more than just a hobby. The most important question, Fiona, do you have a box set of The Good Life?
No, actually I don't. But I do know The Good Life and I love it, as in on the television. But my mother is very fond of saying that I used to be Margot, but now I'm Barbara.